How do you rebuild your life if you have lost somebody near or dear to you? If a family member has passed away, where do you begin your life again? How does your family put together the documents required, the financial documents, and how do you get started? Are you worried that this is a cumbersome process? Have you thought that what could be those 1, 2, 3 checklist which one needs if one has to get started to rebuilding your life? As a family, you need to start putting things together so that you don't have to wait for further grievance for the loss of the member. Yes, COVID-19 has been brutal. You and I, a lot of people may have lost a family member, a near, dear, a friend, a relative, and a neighbor. But it is also the time when you can help someone who needs to know, who needs your help, and perhaps you need a help. If you are looking for such a checklist, if you're looking for such a process, if you're looking for what to do together, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Taressh Bhatia and I am a financial freedom specialist. Over the years, I have got financial freedom for over thousands of individuals and families through my proven, trusted, and with my skills and knowledge, I have brought financial freedom to them, bringing them lower financial worries, increased wealth creation, bringing joy, success, and happiness. Today, I'm on a mission to bring over 10,000 individuals and families to a level where they don't have to worry about money, no worries about money, and therefore leading a life which is called as free from financial worries, financial freedom, where you don't actually worry for money, you don't work for money, but money works for you when you sleep. Join me on this mission. I am the founder and creator of Advantagefp LLP. As a partner and principal officer of the SEBI registered investment advisor firm, I help individuals and families under consultation with me on a one-to-one how they can overcome their financial worries, plan their finances from A to Z, create a path for wealth creation, and planning all their financial plan according to a set parameter. In this video, I'm going to explain to you if you have lost somebody and you would like to know the steps involved, then what are those steps? Do press the bell icon button, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you're always aware of the best of the videos which I launch. So let's go ahead and look into what are those points which you should keep in mind. As I said, loss of a loved one is traumatic. Dreams are broken. Many instances, it's the sole member of the family who's been lost. At this point, one always wonders the financial well-being of the spouse now and the children depends on a single person, and this survivor or the balanced family members have to put together their financial life. Even in double income families or where the husband and wife were earning, a big dent, not just the member who's been lost, but a financial dent does come in, especially when only one member was aware of what to do and where the financial documents are and what exactly needs to be done, because that person or that member of the family was taking such important decisions over so many years, and perhaps you were not aware what exactly needs to be done when it comes to such a situation today. Now, what do you do when the husband or the wife of the family is lost and the children need to take, and you have to take financial decisions? When the husband passes away, the entire family and the responsibility of the finances, the children, falls on the lady of the house. And either way, where to begin? Where would you be living now? Is the house yours? Is there a bank loan? Is there some insurance, a life insurance policy? Where is the document? How do you put it out together? How much money do you have? How much money would be required going forward? Is there any loan? How much is it? How much is the balance? Do I need to pay? How much? How to do that? Was there any other will that the family member lost has or had registered, or is there a will simply? what are the responsibilities of the employer if the bereaved member, the member who's lost his, the member who's passed away, he was working in a company, and what are his company's or her company's responsibilities? Where did that passed away member, family member, keep all the financial documents and the records, the originals, the copies? And where do you get help? Who can help you, etc., etc. The list can be long, but in this video I'm going to make a small checklist of what all you need to do today, so that in the next coming days and weeks you can organize your financial life and rebuild step by step. I would say, do not hold yourself after the initial bereavement. You need to get started, because things are on hold for quite some time after the death of that particular family member, or the family you're helping today needs to now rebuild the family life today. So let's look at the first steps. The first step is the death certificate. How do you get it? In Gurgaon, where I live, I have put together a link at the government authorities where you can go and register online with one document required from the cremation or where the funeral took place. You have to put that document together, and the following documents, which is the PAN, the Aadhaar, the other documents mentioned in the list below, you need to upload these documents on the site and check in your particular state in India or city and the municipal corporation website, and you will find this particular link where you can upload all this. Today's time you may not have to visit it. The next is that after you have uploaded, you would need a proper death certificate. So in few days time you would get 21 days, within 21 days of applying you would get the death certificate. Now you can make copies or ask for original death certificate, at least 10 or 15, 20 I would say, because it just costs you 5 or 10 rupees if there is a cost. So take couple of original additional copies of the death certificate, because it will be required at least at 5 or 10 places depending on the financial investments and other records and assets owned by the person. The next is the bank account. So the person who is now passed away, that particular bank account needs to be closed immediately, but before that you need to meet, speak or discuss with the family and understand that what money is lying there, how do you get that money into the family, and depending on the will or the nomination or the joint account, you need to have that money pulled out from that particular bank account before you close the account. Obviously you have to close the account. There is no second thought about it. Now the next is put the information together. I have made a checklist of all the documents and information which needs to be together. What should one do if a family member passes away? In the description below, please go to that link, click download. So today, if you are not relevant or this particular video is not relevant to you, but do download this document. It's an Excel sheet, and in that you should start maintaining records of everything which is related to pertaining to financial investments, assets, properties, bank and anything. So if you have already got this document from the bereaved, from the member who's passed away or relevant to that person, now that is where you get started. Now also you should have access to the emails, the personal email of the member, and you should be able to open it. There is a forget password and there is a secondary email and the mobile number of the passed away member, and that will get you the access to the personal emails, where further emails or communications from the documentation or the process you started, you will start or may have received certain communications. The next is the home computer or the office computer, or where the person was doing any internet, or you need to look at that, where all that information, the password, the user ID is normally stored. Get access to that, then open up the documents or the passwords required. Next is the transfer of assets. Now you need to look into if the house you're staying and was in the name of the family member who passed away, you need to transfer as per the succession. If you are a Hindu, then the Hindu Succession Act. If there is a will in place, the will indicates clearly that this particular property needs to be transferred from, let's say, the husband to the wife, or the wife to the husband, and if none, then the children, and therefore thereafter as per the Hindu Succession Act. You need to get a probate of the court if the will is in place, and that document will now help you to get the property transferred. If that is done, now look at the will. The will is a document where the person who's passed away has clearly mentioned what assets, what amounts, what bank account, what jewelry, what property is to be transferred to whom and in what proportion, and what needs to be done is mentioned clearly in the will. Get hold of the will. If it was a financial advisor or the executor of the will help you in getting the probate of the will, which is order of the court, which gets you started on the action required. Next, look at the nominations. Look at the nominations where all the nominations in the bank account, in the insurance policies, where health insurance policies. So that nomination will help the person who's the nominee to get the money transferred, if it's a life insurance policy, if it's a bank account, or if it's a health insurance policy. So that nomination helps. Look at nomination. The next is immovable property. So whatever is property is the house you're staying in, and then each state in India has got separate its own incorporating where, what, how it is to be done. So depending on the state and the city, you need to get that process started with the help of the death certificate. The next one is the movable property, which means that the simplest and the easiest way to transfer what are movable properties from one person to the other may not be cumbersome. The assets owned, for example, it could be certain things which needs to be now passed on to the new or the nominated member of the family. The next is the bank accounts. You need to look at all the bank accounts, and the bank account, as I said earlier, needs to be closed in top priority. But before that, go through the process with the death certificate now in hand. Next is your housing loan. So if you have a housing loan, look at the process, speak to the bank, look at what you can do, or get the loan transfer to the new person or the new family member and how it can be done. Next is credit cards. You cannot ignore that the credit card was in the name of the person who passed away. Well, it has to be closed. The credit card company has to be informed immediately to seize and control and close the particular credit card in the name of the deceased person. It cannot continue, and do not make any transactions after the death of the family member, and cut the card in two pieces and keep it away. And once you are informed, take a note of that, and after a few days go to CIBIL.com and check all the pending or any balance or any other loans or outstanding, a personal loan, home loan, car loan. So take a record of that from CIBL.com of the deceased person. Use the user ID and password, and email and the mobile number is a combination to get hold of a statement of all the outstandings of the person till date for any loans taken in the past. Once this is done, the person has been working in any company, look at the EPF. If there is any balance amount which is available, inform the company or the employer that the person has passed away and the EPF account needs to be closed. The amount needs to be transferred to the account of the person who's been nominated in the EPF bank account, and get the PF balance statement before you close, and look at the nomination which was mentioned there as the employer, or you need to consult with the HR department there. The next is the income tax. So this is not one of the most urgent things to be done, but I would say it cannot be ignored, because all the returns, all the financial documents, all the income of the person who's deceased, there is a process where you have to get the closure of the income tax returns which have to be filed still, and the person who's the nearest family member has the responsibility. Car, any vehicle, you need to get it transferred now to the person who's now the survivor, they typically mentioned in the will or the nominee. The next is, if he or she, the deceased person, was running a business, then you need to look at if it was a partner, if it was a director, the managing director, the owner, or the proprietor. So you need to look at if this company, the firm, needs to be closed, or can the business be passed on and the shares be transferred, and the income tax department be notified, and the Ministry of Company Affairs, the departments there, can be should be intimated also. The next is, how much help can you get from the employer? Consult with them what help they can offer you in these processes. Also important, there is an employee life insurance policy taken by your employer, the person, deceased person, and you have to look at that. Now I'm saying this is a whole lot of documents required, but if you are in tune with what I've just informed you, it will not be difficult, because now you know the process you would get. I would say take a long breath, make a checklist, and do not worry. Consult your financial advisor or the person who is the best available to you, who has little sense to help you overcome these financial difficulties, and the transfers happen. Look at if the person who's passed away was the bread earner of the family. then the incoming insurance amount or sale or proceeds from any assets owned by him, which you have now taken a decision, or the will of the person deceased mentions what exactly to do after paying off any loans or outstanding or any other debt for that matter. How do you invest that amount? So this is a transition you of the members now, and they have to now organize the financial life going ahead. I would say look at the basic household expenses at this moment, and if you have an incoming amount, ensure that that amount is put into some as investment where it will get you a fixed amount for next couple of years without worry of the ups and downs of the market, but higher than the bank fixed deposit, higher than what you would normally get from a bank as interest. And based on that, you should be able to get a fixed amount, not to worry about the monthly expenses going forward. Take time on this, understand the pros and cons, and do consult a good financial investment advisor to help you with this process. With this, I understand that I've been able to help you in this particular video to get started with your rebuilding of the financial life.